So, what is meant by best and final offers? And what are the implications? Even when this is the frustrating part. Even when best and final offers are requested by the sales agents, negotiations can still occur. Because after all, what's the sales agent's job? To get as much money as they can for their seller. And if they think that they can bring in the offers and then negotiate above that, the price above that, well, then they're going to try, aren't they? A lot of sales agents actually adhere to this best and final offers and they won't go over. They are quite serious that you should put it in because we will not be negotiating. In fact, I sold a home once and the sales agent was saying that all best and final offers needed to be submitted in an envelope and dropped into the sales office by the people who were buying by 5 p.m. on the 13th, for example. And then what they did was sat down and at 5 p.m. they opened up each envelope and the one with the most money won. And that worked for me. I was selling my house. I got what I wanted. But you could see there was a range of different offers that came in. It was simply based on money. Nothing else was mentioned at all. It was just money. I look back on that now, actually, nothing else. I was only interested in the money. I didn't really care. I didn't live in the home at the time, so I didn't really care about the settlement date. I just said, make sure it's, within 60 days and I want this much money. Yeah, and I was very fortunate though, because now I'm remembering back is there was no finance clause either with this buyer. It was very clean and they had a good amount of money. To be honest with you, I was selling the home in Gympie, Queensland, and the buyer was coming from Sydney or Melbourne or somewhere. They bought it, flipped it, and sold it again for, well, I didn't think they got all that much more for it than they would have spent on their renovations. But yeah, I digress. So there you go. In some cases like that one, she certainly did not come back to me and say, so we've received this much money. Would you like me to see if I can get more out of them? Did not say that to me as the seller. But then others will say that. So even when best and final offers are requested, negotiations can still occur. The seller could counteroffer. The seller could say, thanks, close enough, but not quite there. Even the highest offer might not perfectly align with the seller's expectations. The seller might counteroffer with a slightly higher price or request adjustments to the terms in the contract, like the settlement date. They could be testing the waters. The seller might use a counteroffer to gauge the buyer's true level of interest and see if they're willing to increase their offer further. Buyers might counteroffer with minor adjustments to the contract, such as a shorter settlement period or the inclusion of specific inclusions. The buyer might say, okay, well, I'll pay that bit extra that you're after, but can you please throw in that gorgeous barbecue that you've got out there, because that's about a $3,000 or $4,000 barbecue, and I'd like to keep that. If you can put that in, we've got a deal. Real estate agent mediation. The real estate agent might try to bridge the gap and act as a mediator between the seller's expectations and the buyer's offer. Of course, that's what happens when you submit an offer. I would direct you back to my video about how to place an offer and how to make sure your offer is going to be received favorably by the seller. Thank you all.